Hi everyone and welcome to another I Can, You Can Cook video. Slightly different video this time. Basically I was at a fish filleting course in the week and I took the opportunity to interview Paul from the Fishmongers for the segment that I do on Radio Alti, which is a fortnightly segment that I do, and I normally go through recipes from my blog and things like that. But this year I wanted to switch it up and add a few things. We're going to stick with the recipes as well, but also add in some interviews that are all foodie based with either restaurant owners, fishmongers, butchers, greengrocers, anyone that's got anything to do with food in my local area. I want to try and interview them and just get some content from that, because I want to learn about the food industry and, you know, the challenges and the pitfalls that they keep an eye out for. It'll be really interesting to find out what's going on locally as well. And even if you're not local, this is going to be really interesting for you guys. So let me know what you think of the video. That would be really nice. Please watch through to the end and leave a comment, and yeah, good or bad, all comments and, you know, all feedback is taken on board, and I'd really, really appreciate it. So please do that. Okay, without further ado, let's go and meet Paul from Fish, Timperley's finest catch. So thanks for joining us, Paul. It's been great coming in, having a look at the shop. I'm joining in your fish filleting course, which we'll come to later on, which is going to be a lot of fun. Why did you choose Timperley, and, you know, what are you bringing to Timperley that wasn't already in the first place?
So I'm a Timperley resident and always have been. Okay. So I'm the ripe old age of 40 now and grew up just near the metro station. And although sort of been in and around Manchester and surrounding areas as a chef primarily, now teach at Trafford College Hospitality, and I've had a passion for fish for many, many years. Right. I personally feel like the village is lacking that, absolutely, and keeping people in the village shopping. Yeah. You know, we've got a wonderful butchers, which is very, very busy. We've got a great greengrocers. What we haven't got and haven't had for many years is a fishmonger. Yeah. And although it's tough, you know, you see the Tesco's one closing down, both of their fishmonger counters, and you wonder why. I just think there's a massive gap in the market for something quality.
I couldn't agree more. I think when we first spoke, I said I used to go to Sale, which is not too far. But it's great having it on the doorstep, and it's a great little village. Like you say, you've got Treadgold, the butchers. Pretty spoilt now. We've got a bit of everything. So,
well, we're certainly finding that from a customer's perspective. Yeah. You know, it's only sort of been 10 weeks, but already people coming in and saying, "Oh my God, I don't even need to leave the village anymore." You know, they might have had to go to Altrincham Market, which is fair enough, and go to the market and get your fish and whatever. But actually, keeping it within the confines of our village, I think it's been really nice for people to just sort of do that Saturday shop.
A lot more accessible as well, I find, than going into Altrincham.
Yeah, well, you know, you've got to park at Tesco's, haven't you? You've got to park wherever and then trudge into Alti to do it. And Altringham's a great place. You know, I used to have a restaurant there, and having the hub of sort of the market now is fantastic and everything around it. However, I think from Timperley's perspective, we've certainly got a lot of shops and independent retailers to shout about. Yeah. And we just want to be part of that scene.
Awesome, great. So you mentioned Tesco and the other fishmongers closing down. What can people expect to get from a local fishmonger like yourself that they can't get in a supermarket?
Well, we don't sell anything vacuum packed for a start. You'll find the only supermarkets that have got any fishmonger counters left are places like Morrison's in Chorlton. Everywhere else, you have to pick up something shrink wrapped. And when you pick up something shrink wrapped, you have no idea how long that's been in that wrap for. Yeah. With us, we're only open 4 days a week and we keep it as fresh as possible. It's literally every morning we get the deliveries through. So deliveries from Fleetwood, deliveries from Scarborough on a Wednesday with all the live shellfish. Fleetwood's all our whitefish comes from the Irish Sea. Okay. And then we're off to Smithfield Market ourselves as well, which everything from New Smithfield in Middleton comes via Billingsgate, which is all your South Coast stuff. Brilliant. And beyond. And really for us, it's just about managing that sort of small deck that we've got, which is, you know, it's 9 foot long and a couple of foot wide, so we can only fit a certain amount on there. We buy what we need for the day. Whatever we don't sell at the end of the day, we cook and we make into our deli products, and they get sold from the next day onwards. Yeah.
So there's not a lot of waste.
No, hardly anything. We've really managed to manage it well.
And I think that's massive now. A lot of people are thinking
absolutely, that way. Absolutely. As they should. So what can you expect from us, to answer your question? Much fresher fish. Yeah. We're never going to be as cheap as you can buy 2 sea bass fillets in Tesco's. Yeah. But the chances are you're paying the same per kilo, and ours are much larger, much fresher, and of a much better quality. Yeah. Also a personal service. You know, there's a lot to be said for for Dan, who runs the shop, alongside myself and myself when I can, sort of get in here outside of college work. It's personable.
Yeah.
We're offering something old school again, where you come in and there's
I think
a
people are
smiling
coming back
face.
to that, aren't they?
Yeah.
People appreciate that now. I do personally. So I think
And
people are generally.
and there's a smiling face, and there's advice if you need it, and there's, would you just take the skin off that? Yeah, no problem. Would you just? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And it's just giving people hopefully what they want, and whether it's that Saturday night treat or that Wednesday afternoon crab head to go on toast, we've got it and then some. So hopefully we're bringing a lot more than a supermarket.
And I suppose as time goes on as well, you get to know customers on a more personal level.
Yeah.
You know what they want, what they like, the way they like things cut, etc. So it's that personal touch, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're not going to get that out of a supermarket. Supermarkets, look, it's great. We're in a cost of living crisis. We're not saying bin your supermarket off.
No.
But support your local businesses as much as you can.
And I think
you'll find you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I think as and when you can, you know, like I said before, even if it's just that Saturday night treat, and you want to come to us and take a piece of monkfish, we'll tell you how to wrap it in Parma ham. We'll tell you how long to cook it for, and hopefully you go away with some recipe ideas and stuff. Because since COVID, people are taking more advantage of being able to cook indoors or have friends round at home. I know I certainly am, and pushing the boat out a little bit more with buying ingredients for that Saturday evening treat rather than going out and spending money on a meal and having a little bit of a chill while the kids are upstairs, kind of thing. So. Yeah, I mean, we just hope that that's what's going to happen, and hopefully so far so good.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so you spoke about all the different types of fish that you do, which is again another advantage over the supermarket. You can come in and get things that you can't get in the supermarket.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What would you say is your best seller currently?
Oh, goodness me, it changes on a daily basis.
Yeah.
If I told you Christmas week, 23rd and 24th of December, I couldn't buy scallops in fast enough, it probably wouldn't surprise you, but we went through around about 10 kilos of scallops, and they don't weigh very much. And then it got to 31st, and I couldn't get oysters in fast enough. The whole world wanted oysters, and I did nearly 300 of them. Ridiculous. 30th, 31st. But on a week-to-week basis, it kind of changes. You've got your stalwarts, the salmon, obviously. But we're getting our salmon from the Faroe Islands. It's a sashimi grade salmon called baka. It's fabulous. So people are taking a piece of that, and it's not the cheapest, but they're tasting it and coming back for it again. Sea bass is always a big one. So we get large farm sea bass. Most of about 95% of the sea bass you get nowadays is all farmed. But we use a reputable farmer out in it's all Greece, Mediterranean. And we buy the larger side. So again, people coming back for that also. Cod's massive. Cod's not a farm fish at all. So the Atlantic cod that we get at the moment, around about 7 kilo in size. So you're getting that massive, big, thick piece of cod.
I can guarantee that's very nice.
A massive, big piece of loin piece of cod. So those are your sort of stalwarts. Smoked haddock literally walks out the door. But week by week, you can be surprised as well. We'll get those more special things in for a Saturday. Week before last, we shifted nearly 10 kilo halibut, and it's an expensive fish, but it's a treat fish. So people, when they see it on the deck and it's a massive piece, they're more than likely go for it. Swordfish sells quite well. Fresh swordfish sells quite well. It seems to have its own little cult following. It's almost like an indie band that only a few people have heard of. But when they literally come through the door asking for swordfish. And we've always got it. So, but your cod, your salmon, your sea bass, a little bit of smoked haddock and stuff like that. But we're pleased to say that, and from our perspective, because we're so passionate about what we do, everything we're buying in is selling. Whether we buy it in small quantity or large, knowing that it either is going to sell in its volume or not so much. But everything is selling, so that's really nice for us.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good sign. And I suppose the next question, following on from what is your best seller, what do you think could be a really good seller if people knew about it? What would you recommend for people to try if people aren't currently trying? A hidden gem.
I can't push Coley enough. Coley and pollock, I can't push it enough. It's extremely reasonable. It's a little bit like a more interesting cod, I think. So it's that darker flesh. It'll withstand a little bit more punchy flavours. So you can pop that in a curry, no problem at all, and it'll stand up to it and it won't sort of melt away into the background. Equally, pop that into a fish pie, it's amazing. So Coley, pollock for me, half the price of cod. And for me personally, a better flavour as well.
Brill. Well, that's what I'll be trying next, because I've said I'm not a massive seafood eater, but this year I'm gonna try everything.
Yeah, good.
So that'll be the next buy. That will be the next buy. Anything before we end it that you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about your links, your classes that you're putting on here?
So basically, we've got the website fishtimply.com.
Yeah.
Have a little look on there. We've got everything from What's On, which on the What's On page we talk about the leisure courses that we've got going on. So I teach for a living as well. Okay. So we have teaching classes every other Wednesday night. So whether it's fish filleting like we've got tonight, sushi rolling with Dan, even wine tasting. I've got a colleague of mine where he's going to be bringing wines from France, and I'm going to be cooking little sort of fish bits to taste with it. So a couple of hours of wine tasting. Very, very popular. Yeah. I thought they would be, but you're never quite so sure how. Yeah. The word's starting to get around, and once people have experienced them, they're starting to tell people, and it's a big word of mouth thing. Yeah. So the course is on the What's On page, and also on the meal preparation page as well, our ready meal. So we obviously push the fresh fish, but at the same time, our background is in hospitality and catering. So all the homemade meals that we've got in the fridges are all made by ourselves.
And that's prepared here.
All prepared in-house. All the pâtés, all the fish pies, all the Malaysian curries, everything, even from making our own pastes and stuff. Okay. So have a little look at the meal preparation site as well. A page on the site. We've got sort of the menu which changes on a monthly basis there also. Yep.
And your Instagram's doing quite well?
Instagram does well. I don't understand Instagram very much. Getting a bit old now, I think, for it. So Instagram's good, at Fish Simply again. Yeah. And then other than that, just come and see us, because we've always got a smile on our faces. Yeah. Make sure you come in.
I will put all of Paul's links in the show description and below, so check those out. And that's it. Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you.
It's been awesome. Yeah. Let's fillet some fish.
Yeah.
And that was Paul from Fish Simply's Finest Catch. Hope you enjoyed the interview. I really enjoyed doing it. The course was amazing. Paul is a great teacher. I learned so much. I've never filleted a fish before. I'm not a big seafood eater. One of my New Year's resolutions, funnily enough, was to push the boat out and try more seafood, because I eat a lot of meat. I eat pretty much a lot of everything else. I just don't eat a lot of seafood. Like white fish is kind of my safe zone. So this year I'm really going to push the boat out and push the boundaries of my taste buds. And that was a great start, filleting a fish from start to finish. Learned so much. So I do recommend that if you are local to the area, if you're in Greater Manchester, reach out to Paul or Dan in the shop and see what they've got going on. I know that their fish filleting class, their sushi class, and their wine tasting class are all booked up till March. That's how popular they're proving, and they're really, really good. I can't recommend them enough. But I'm sure even if you don't live locally, there'll be fishmongers and butchers and things like that that are local to you, or just recipe classes in general, some food schools, cookery schools. They do evening classes, and it's a lot of fun. The social side of it was really good. I was there with 10 people that I'd never met before, and thoroughly enjoyed it. We all had a laugh and made some friends, and it's really, really good, so I do recommend it. That's it for this video. Keep an eye out for more videos like this and the usual recipe stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.